All right, so now the first thing that we want to do is we want to place the sticker on the forehead, right?
Yes.
In order to place the sticker on the forehead, we have to make sure that we find the center of the forehead and also the horizontal line, so that to make sure if the eyes are all, horizontally aligned and yada yada. Now we're gonna use this, okay, to go at the center of the face like this, and then I'm just gonna kind of like support it. Then I kind of like pinch, just very lightly. So I'm putting right at the center of the face like this. I want to make sure by using my eyes, right, to make sure it's nice and centered, and then like I gently pinch it in, and then mark a center line. So just a skinny little line like that, that's enough. Yeah. And then I like to use a headband like this, put it on the ears, right? And then I'm just gonna ask the client to look straight up, so that I would check the symmetry of the eye socket. Like you're slightly higher on this side according to this, right? And then I put this on, then I press this down, and then just use this very corner of the sharpened pencil, the flat side, so to give me a horizontal line so that I can place the sticker correctly. Okay, now since your eye socket level is not the same, right, so I cannot measure the distance from the sticker to the corner of your eye, so I have to figure out a way to check symmetry. Yeah, well, I will show you in just a second. So peeling the sticker. So when we place the sticker, we start placing the sticker at the center of the forehead first, right between the two brows. Whoops. So I make sure that the bottom of the sticker is lower than the client's eyebrows. And then using this line that we created to help me guide placing the sticker. Good, that looks good to me. So I only tap the center of the forehead first, yeah? And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the construction caliper. So if the client has eye socket that are perfectly horizontally aligned, I'm just gonna go with measuring it from the inside corner of the eye, and then I'm picking a number on the sticker, either number 1, 5 millimeter, number 0, number 2, it doesn't really matter. So as long as you pick a number and you use the same. So in this case, I'm using the 5 millimeter. Check the distance, like this. But as I mentioned, your eye socket this side is higher, you see that? So now this gap is bigger because your eye socket, this one is higher. So now I'm just gonna use something else. So I'm just gonna use right here at the bottom of your nose, and then I'm gonna pick a number again. Let's say I pick number 1 at 1 centimeter on the ruler. So make sure that I don't push the nose too hard. Good, and then I flip to the other side. Perfect. See that?
So you're doing one on one? to make sure it's...
Yes. At the
Okay,
1
so if
centimeter,
one
1
was-
centimeter.
If one was off...
Yes.
Okay.
If some's off, then you have to check the symmetry. So I double, triple check the symmetry of the sticker, right? Perfectly centered and horizontal as well. And then I pat it on. Don't stretch the sticker on. You don't want the skin to wrinkle, right? So now, right now we do the forehead stickers, right? Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this? Okay. So we apply forehead sticker, and then the next step we're gonna do complete 3 vertical lines to determine point 1 and 4, which is here. Point number 3, which is the tail, and then point number 2 in this order. But then we also have to check this is step 4.1, the eye set as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use my golden ratio caliper. Right, so now I'm gonna ask the oops. Okay.
Still good.
It's fine. Okay, all right. I'm gonna ask my client to look up at their forehead, and then the golden ratio, point at the white eye, arm number 1 and arm number 2, point at the white eye, and then now I'm gonna move this center piece, the removable piece, to the center of the forehead and look at the short ones. So now here at the edge of the box, it's 0, 1, 2, it says 2 millimeters. So this one's suggesting 2 millimeters, right, on this sticker. So now step 4.1 here, we're going to have to check the eye set. So to see how wide the eyes are, okay. And then, boom. Let me see again. So your eye set is slightly wide. Yeah, so your eye set is slightly wide. So what does that mean? Y set eye, we're going to minus 2 millimeters, right? But you're just slightly wide, so I'm gonna do just minus 1.
Okay.
Yeah? So instead of 2, we're gonna do 1 millimeter. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my gloves, and I'm gonna use the inked thread. Okay. So you don't have to put on the gloves, but if you don't put on the gloves and use ink thread, your hands would, look like you just been through a garbage can or gardening. It's gonna be all dirty. So I like to use my fingers to run through the string a little bit because sometimes it gets really wet. Okay, and then roll. Okay, now it's easier to sit on the side of the client. So put the string on the sticker first and then just wrap it down. Put on the sticker first and then wrap. You see how I wrap the contour of the forehead? Yeah, the brow bone and whatnot. All right, and then
that's at 1.
That is where point 1 and point 4 is going to be. Yes? Okay, and now we have to determine the tail of the eyebrow, right? So you have a good amount of eyebrow hair, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, right? So let's see, on this eyebrow, your eyebrow is naturally approximately at 6.3. Let's look at this side. Your eyebrow is approximately at 6.1. Do you want to keep your eyebrows length according to the longer one? Keep it long.
I think so.
Yeah? So we're gonna go ahead and do 6.3. Yes?
Okay.
And then you can see if I do corner of the nose, corner of the eye, right? You see that it's gonna get really short, shorter than your eyebrows. So it doesn't always work. If I do tip of the nose, corner of the eye, that's gonna be more of your natural eyebrow length. You see that?
Yeah.
So in general, you are an extended length. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna go ahead 6.3. 6.3. Okay, now that I know where the brow start, where the brow ends, I'm gonna use the golden ratio caliper to find 0.2, right? So the wider space, the wider ones are the body of the eyebrow, the narrower ones are the tail. So this is the body, right? So I'm gonna go this right on where the 0.1 is supposed to be, somewhere around there. And now these ones you can bend it just a little bit to follow the curve of the face, right? So 0.1 and then where 0.3, you see that? So then press it on the face, use the pencil. To mark. So on that line, so it's about 3.7. So 3.7 is going to be your 0.2. Yes? So 3.7, 0.567, 3.7. Good. So now we have completed 3 vertical lines. Yes? So now we're going to determine, we're going to complete the 3 horizontal lines now to determine point number 4, which is the lowest point, and then point number 1 up here, and then point number 2, right? 3 horizontal lines. Yes?
Okay.
So now I'm gonna ask the client, okay, do you want your eyebrows, the lowest point of your eyebrow to be somewhere there? Do you feel good about it? Or you wanna go up a little bit and lose a little bit of those stray hair? What do you think?
Lose stray hair.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so perfect. So you see, I just gently press on like that. So I keep the string stretched. I can use my pinky on the side of the face to keep the string stretched. Put it down the ruler, press down the contour of the face, and slide one way. And then from there, I'm gonna count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your naturally is about 6 millimeters. Do you want your eyebrows to be a bit thicker, or just keep it natural?
Keep it natural.
How about a 7?
Okay.
What about that? Is it's still within
Does
your
it look,
natural?
Does it look good? I can't tell.
Right?
I think
Do
so.
it will gonna look a bit
Yeah.
fuller. Right? About 7 is still quite natural.
Okay.
Okay, now the highest point of the eyebrow, right? So the highest point of the eyebrow, so which one's higher? This side, right? So do you like the higher side?
I think that's just a couple of extra brows there or something.
So let's see, there. And then when I put it on, I make sure that it aligns on the ruler and make sure they align both sides the same. Oh, your eyebrows are pretty symmetrical in terms of height. What do you think?
Okay.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So now, you don't have to do this in real life, but this helps beginners a lot. So keep a dot. So this is where 0.1 is going to be. 0.4 is gonna be. This is where 0.2 is gonna be. See that?
Mhm.
So it makes it easier for you to see where things are, right?
You use the white pencil, white.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, step number 10, determine the height of the brow tail, point number 3, right? So we're gonna determine how high, how low this be, right? So I'm gonna check your growth pattern by following your natural brow pattern, going here. So this one is about 1.5. This side is a little bit higher. This is 1.3. So 1.3, 1.5, 2 millimeters different. Is it okay?
Can I even it out?
So do you remember that?
Yeah, you take one.
Do you remember that the tail, if the tails are either 1 or 2 millimeter difference, that is acceptable.
Okay.
Most people won't be able to tell the difference
okay.
at all.
So you can't see the difference. Okay.
Most people won't be able to tell the difference, right? So if you just want 1 millimeter difference, we can do that, but then you're gonna lose more hair.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we just don't want to lose hair.
We do, but we don't want to lose all of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So if I do 1.5 here, so coming from 0.2, go to 1.5, press it down and slide. And then if I do, I'm gonna show you, if I go 1.5, you see how much hair you're gonna lose on the top. If I do 1.3, you're not gonna lose so much hair.
Okay.
Yeah? Right, so you see that this is all you're gonna lose up here. Yeah? So I wouldn't want to lose it too much. And then I'm gonna go ahead and step number 11, connect point 1, 2, and 3 together. 1 is here, 2 is here, 3. So 2 and 3 have already been connected. Right, 2 and 3 have already been connected, so I just have to connect 1 and 2 together. Stretch the string. Right on the intersection. Stretch the string right on the intersection. Good. So now, this is your top line. In real life, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this so that you are very clear in terms of where your lines are. Yeah?
I need that.
Sounds good. So you can tell where your top line is, yes? So now the bottom line is what? So we're gonna determine point number 5 and point number 6. Yeah, and then to complete the bottom line. So point number 5 is center of what? Point number 5, center of the eyes.
Okay.
Right. So what should we do? If the client has a mirror, right?
Right.
So let's say this is your mirror. Hold the mirror and look at the tip of your nose. Right. Just look at one thing. So don't move. Right. Look at one thing, and then I'm just gonna look. So this side you are about 2.1. This side you are about 2.3. So 2.1 and 2.3. What does that mean? Which one should I follow? 2.1.
2.1.
And this one's 2.3. Which one should I follow?
2.1.
No, we followed the one that's furthest away from the center of the face.
Furthest away from the center of the face. Okay. So you're looking at the pupil, right?
Yes, like
Okay.
the pupil, correct.
Okay.
So which one should I follow?
The furthest away.
Which is 2.3.
2.3.
Right, 2.3. So that's going to be your 0.5, 2.3. Okay, and then 0.6 is typically what?
You don't see, I mean,
0.6
2
is
2 millimeters.
3. 0.6 is typically 3 millimeters
3
behind
millimeters behind
point number
2.
Okay, so point number 2 is here. And then 1, 2, 3.
Behind.
Point 2 is here. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now the strings are done. Once the strings are done, I can remove my gloves. And then I just have to follow what? The standard thickness progression to measure the thickness of 0.5 and 0.6. So the standard thickness progression says, I'm gonna check the thickness here again. So if it's 7 millimeter here, at 0.5 should be
6.
correct. So I move this to 6. Then put on the top line. So that's going to be my 0.6. And then 7, 6 at 0.2.
4.
7, 6,
5.
5, but we dot mark.
Right, and
And
then
then
4.
4. So I move this down to 4. At 0.6. Oops, too long. Now, I'm just gonna connect the lines. When I connect the line, I have to stretch the skin. Stretch. So start from 0.62, 3. Is it a curve or straight line?
Are you curving it a little?
Just curve it a little, right? 6 to 3,
3.
6 to 5, 4 up, 5 down, to meet. Okay. Now, since you have light hair, I'm gonna go ahead and use like a brown color to fill it in. And then don't forget the last step, right? We're going to have to soften from 0.2 off to the corner of outside, right? So we soften the line a little bit. Yes? So I like to soften my line at the same time I fill this in. Don't forget to stretch the skin. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and clean the area using foundation. Now, if you want to, you can use like an alcohol wipe. And then I just wrap it around this little piece from the golden ratio caliper, and then clean the lines that we don't need anymore. Right? Because when you clean with foundation, if you rub this in with this back line, the area will look kind of gray, kind of like dirty looking. And then the client might not feel pretty. Right? This is about making the client feel good when they see when you're done with your mapping. Right. So this is the rough shape of your eyebrow. So I spread the foundation quite thin. And then when you use the product, get the product at the tip of the brush, like right there at the tip, not on the side of it. We don't need the product on the side. Okay? And right in there. You get how sharp the line is. That's what we want.
So any excess hair at that point, you've already tweezed, or you can.
I do not tweeze. I use the razor to shave because I don't want to.
Before you would do the foundation, after you draw the line.
No,
or before.
I would not remove the hair until I get my client's approval.
Okay.
Because if she's like, oh, can you just...
At what point, I'm sorry, at what point would you remove the hair? Before
when
you do
they
all
get
this?
approval.
Okay.
So once the client approves, unless it's like, you know, it's so bushy that you know for sure the client's just like gonna want it removed, or you have already discussed it, then that's fine. But I'm not gonna do it until I'm 100% sure, because the first rule is to save as much brow hair as possible, right? So if you go ahead and shave it before you get the approval, I might not be very happy about it. And I don't tweeze because you don't want to break the skin. And because the pigment can go and sit inside that broken skin. Now you see that I go right in that line, that 0.4, right? Make sure you go right at the edge of there. Now do you notice that I keep the foundation brush, this brush really flat to the skin? Right? So this is bad. This is good. Okay? Okay, so as you can see, I just finished one eyebrow only and not this one yet. Why? Because I would ask the client to check with the mirror, sitting up, standing up, you know. As soon as the client's like, okay, I love this is great, then I go ahead and shave the brow hair off, right? Because I know that that she loves it already. And then I'm gonna go ahead, now when I move on to this side, I'm gonna go ahead and shave the brow hair outside of the frame off right away. Because I know that she loves the style already. But not before that, because if she changes her mind and want it thicker or whatnot, you know, you cannot change. You cannot take the hair back, right? So you kind of have to take it step by step. So, and then the only reason why we fill it in is just because so that the client can give you the approval easier. If you just do the frame, right, they might not be able to tell. Right, so this is like not done yet, right? On this eyebrow, not until the client sits up and I, you know, look at everything and check the symmetry and everything. But this is like the sort of like 90% done point. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you have any question?
Do I have questions?